Eala, super excited for first Grand Slam main draw. After a breakthrough 2025 that saw her crack the WTA top 50, Eala is set to make her main draw debut at the 2026 Australian Open, a tournament she has long considered her home slam. Speaking to the press on Friday, the 20-year-old Filipina ace shared her excitement about competing in the season's first Grand Slam, noting how different the experience feels this time around. "It feels great, I'm super excited. You know, coming in as a main draw player gives a different vibe, especially with the struggles I had in the past coming here. So, I'm super excited coming here in full force," Eala said. Coming off a year in which she captured her first ever WTA title and her maiden SEA Games gold medal, Eala is looking to carry the momentum into 2026. She hopes a strong showing at the ASB Classic in Auckland will help set the tone for her campaign. "It was definitely great for confidence. Getting matches always helps before slams, so I'm confident with how I'm playing. It doesn't mean that matches aren't going to be tough here, so I'm ready for playing here," she shared. While eager to make a deep run in her Australian Open main draw debut, Eala also expressed her delight over the Philippines hosting its first ever WTA tournament, the Philippine Women's Open, which coincides with the opening slam in Melbourne. "I'm happy that it's finally coming together. It's really happening. It's a dream to have a home tournament, and in just the WTA stage in general, I think it's a huge step for tennis in the Philippines and women's tennis, especially since I know some friends who are going to play there. I'm so happy that it'll bring a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation for the girls back home," the Filipina netter said. Eala opens her Australian Open campaign against a tough opponent in American Alicia Parks, the world number 100 and a former world number 40, on Monday at 8 a.m. Philippine time. Super excited, Eala, and the moment the dream stepped onto the Grand Slam stage. The first time Eala said she was super excited, the words carried more than youthful enthusiasm. They carried years of early mornings, sunburned afternoons on hard courts, quiet sacrifices, and a nation's hope wrapped inside a teenager's smile. This was not excitement born from novelty alone. This was excitement earned. For most young tennis players, Grand Slams are distant constellations. They glitter on television screens, admired from afar, their courts walked only in dreams. For Eala, that dream finally crossed the invisible line into reality, her first Grand Slam main draw. No qualifiers. No sidelines. Just her name printed alongside the world's best, waiting to be announced over stadium speakers. In that moment, Alex was not just stepping into a tournament. She was stepping into history. A dream that began early. Eala's journey did not begin with roaring crowds or camera flashes. It began with a racket that felt too big for her hands and a court that felt impossibly wide. Growing up in the Philippines, tennis was not the easiest path to choose. Basketball courts were everywhere, tennis courts were not. But passion has a way of building its own infrastructure. She trained with intention long before the world knew her name. Each forehand was a question, "Can I do this better?" Each loss was an answer that demanded patience rather than surrender. When she left home to train abroad, she carried more than luggage. She carried responsibility, knowing she was becoming a symbol for young Filipino athletes who dared to believe globally. That belief grew louder when she won junior Grand Slam titles. Those trophies were not endpoints, they were doorways. They whispered, "You belong here." Still, the main draw of a Grand Slam is a different language altogether. It speaks in speed, power, and experience. It tests not only strokes but nerve. Super excited means ready. When Alex described herself as super excited, it was easy to mistake the phrase for something casual. But listen closely, and it reveals courage. Excitement at this level is not naive joy. It is the acceptance of pressure and the willingness to stand under its weight. It is choosing anticipation over fear. Alex understood that the main draw would not offer protection. There would be no easing in, no gentle introduction. Every opponent would arrive sharpened by years on tour, carrying scars and confidence in equal measure. Yet Alex smiled. Because excitement, for her, meant readiness. She was excited to test her game, to discover how her baseline rallies held up under the bright lights. She was excited to feel the tempo of professional tennis at its purest. Most of all, she was excited because this moment validated the long road behind her. Every sacrifice suddenly had context. Carrying a flag without being burdened. Representation can be heavy. Being the first, or one of the few, often adds invisible weight to an athlete's shoulders. Eala carries the Philippine flag with grace, but she does not let it chain her. Instead, she treats it as fuel. Each time she walks onto court, she knows she is watched by young players who see themselves in her story. They see someone who looks like them, speaks like them, and dares like them. For them, Alex's presence in a Grand Slam main draw expands what feels possible. But she never claims perfection. Her story is still being written, point by point. That humility is part of her strength. She understands that inspiration does not require dominance. It requires honesty and effort. The court as a classroom. In her first Grand Slam main draw, Alex is both student and competitor. Every rally is a lesson. Every mistake is feedback. Every winner is confirmation that she belongs on this stage. The court becomes a classroom without walls, where experience is taught in milliseconds. She learns how to manage nerves when the stands fill. She learns how to reset after losing a tight game. She learns how momentum can shift with a single net chord. And through it all, her excitement remains. Because learning for Alex has always been part of the joy. More than one match. Regardless of results, this first Grand Slam main draw is not a finish line. It is a beginning. It marks the transition from promise to presence. From junior headlines to professional chapters. From being introduced as a rising star to being recognized as a competitor who demands preparation. Eala knows this. That is why her excitement feels grounded rather than fleeting. She is not overwhelmed by the scale of the moment. She is curious about it. Curious about how far her game can stretch. Curious about who she can become. The quiet power of belief. Perhaps the most powerful part of Eala's story is not the ranking points or the headlines. It is belief, quiet, consistent, and stubborn. Belief that talent deserves opportunity. Belief that hard work can cross oceans. Belief that a Filipino athlete can stand comfortably on the sport's biggest stage. When Alex says she is super excited, she invites others into that belief. She reminds young dreamers that excitement is not something to outgrow. It is something to protect. A moment that echoes forward. Years from now, when Eala plays many more Grand Slams, this first main draw will still matter. It will remain the moment when the dream stopped being abstract and became tangible. The moment when excitement met reality and refused to step back. For now, she steps onto the court with clear eyes and an open heart. The lines are freshly painted.